nice to see you.
And
Albania double-header, it's quite rare that you play the same team twice in the same camp. Does that change anything at all for preparation maybe?
Yeah, no, it is a bit unusual. I think for us, it's an opportunity to learn really quickly from the first game and go straight into the second one. Obviously, our preparation at the minute is pretty normal going into the first game. And hopefully we figure out, what we do well against them and what maybe might not work, and we can have a really quick turnaround then for the second game. But it's exciting.
What do you expect from them?
We expect them to be physical, direct. They've got some players who are very, very comfortable on the ball. So I think individual strength is something that we've looked at as well. We're just going to look to nullify sort of their directness and hope that we can exploit the gaps that they leave as well.
We just spoke to Sophie now, and she referenced the fact that the aim is 2 wins, simple as that. But anything less be disappointing?
Yeah, Rian said it yesterday on day 1 of camp that we are going for 2 wins. I think we're all aligned with that. We started the campaign relatively well. We're at the top of the group, and that's exactly where we want to stay. In order to do that, we need to win our games. So yeah, we're not hiding away from that. That is our goal. Yeah,
you touched on it there. I mean, 4 points from the first 6 available. That last cast draw as well to keep that unbeaten run going. I mean, how important is that given, a fantastic year last year, some tough results, but to come back and get draws and wins again must be really encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year was tough, but it was a year of development. We played against some of the best teams in the world, and if we want to keep developing as a country, that's where we want to be. That's the opposition we want to compete against. And football is funny. It does come down to small moments sometimes, and that equaliser from Elise ended up being a massive moment for us. So yeah, to be with 4 points now at the top of the table is exactly where we want to be. So yeah, kudos to Elise for that goal.
You talk about the development of 2025. I mean, you probably couldn't have cherry-picked a tougher Euros group, but when you add that to the Nations League games you played, League A as well, I mean, you're playing such stellar opposition. How much has that benefited you now?
Yeah, it's been huge. I mean, when you play for your national team, you want to play against the toughest teams in the world. And when we qualified for the Euros, Nations League A ended up being the best preparation for us because we did have such a tough group, and we knew we were going to have a tough group in the Euros. If you go to a major tournament, there are no weak teams. There's just not. So if we want to be in these tournaments, the reality is we are going to have to play teams that are ranked very highly, and we've got to get used to competing against them and kind of developing and getting stronger and being able to snatch points away from them going forwards.
Just on Sophie, I mean, everything she went through with the injuries, she finally came back at the Euros of all places, but she's had a prolonged spell in the team now. How good is it to have her back and fit and firing?
Yeah, it's so good to have Soph. She's such a good leader for our team. I know she's not the captain anymore, but even her giving up captaincy was a reflection of who she is as a person. She's selfless. She goes about her business quietly. She doesn't need to be loud about it. She kind of leads in the way that she behaves. She leads by example, and having her back in the team with her quality is exactly what we've needed. And she's been in real form in front of goal as well. She's like adding goals and everything to her tally now at club and at country. So yeah, it's great to have Soph back.
You seen that in training as well?
Yeah, absolutely. She's very consistent with it.
And we were chatting to Sophie as well about, obviously, Jess no longer here, Kayleigh, Barton, you're really experienced heads, and I say Jess no longer here, she was with you in the last camp,
yeah.
But what was it like having her back in that camp, and how different is it? Because she's got a lot of experience and knowledge to pass on, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is interesting as players are getting older and retirement is looming. We do end up in a transitional period where we lose the senior players, if you will, that we're used to having. And it kind of then opens the door for players like myself to kind of step in and start taking responsibility and start growing up a bit in the environment and realising that we're not always going to have these calm senior heads to kind of guide us. We've got to start stepping up as well, and players like Ffion and Ceri, they've both got 50 appearances now. They've been quietly becoming very key senior players in this environment. So I think it is a transitional period, and it's interesting, it's hard, it's not easy to lose players that have been so important in this team, but it's time for the new players to come through and kind of show what they're about as well.
Have you felt that almost like a responsibility that you want to because it means you play, but almost like you have to drive the team forwards now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, everybody will probably have different experiences and different perspectives of it, but you know, we are all getting older as well. We're not the young players that we were, and we do feel, you know, another level of responsibility now. And that's not just on the pitch and playing, that's in the environment. How do we hold ourselves? How do we interact with new players coming into the squad?
In terms of the new players, you have a lot of youngsters and stuff as well. I mean, who's standing out for you and who's looking, you know, I'm going to take their spot? Are you feeling that as well?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the training has been at a very good level. It's remaining competitive even with changes in and out of the squad, and that's exactly what we want from this environment. Obviously Marid is really coming on the last few camps, and she's sort of starting to solidify her place in the squad, and things like that are really exciting to see. We want this team to continue to develop and grow, and having Mayzee back from injury as well has been a massive boost this camp. It's so good to have her back, and she's just slotted straight back into training, and she's, you know, training as if nothing's happened. She's cool, she's calm, she's collected, and yeah, it's great to have her back in the squad.
And on a personal level as well, recently 100 appearances up for Bristol City. I mean, that was a nice moment. We saw you with the shirt on the side of the pitch. That must have been a nice moment for you, Ella.
Yeah, no, it was a really nice moment, very, very proud moment for me. I feel like when I went to Bristol City, I wasn't involved with the Welsh setup. I wasn't really sure on how my career was sort of faring at that point, and being in that full-time environment over the last few years has really allowed me the opportunity to develop, and it's allowed me to get back into the Welsh setup, and I hope that I will continue to be a big part of this squad. But yeah, my time at Bristol City has been, you know, very, very memorable. We've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. But yeah, I've slowly been ticking off the appearances. So it was a really nice moment to reach that milestone.
Congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you.